Thank you for watching. I'm Carl Robinson from Copyright Clearance Centre, CCC. In this short video, we'd like to tell you about a collaboration between CCC and tax analysts, which leverage MarkLogic to enable some impactful change. I'm joined today by Michael Berkeley from Tax Analysts and Renee Swank from CCC. First of all, Michael, can you tell us about Tax Analysts and about your role in the company?
Sure. Hello, Carl. Thank you for having me. As Carl said, my name is Michael Berkeley. I am the Chief Technology Officer at Tax Analysts. We are a niche publisher of tax-related content, both internally created and gathered from third-party sources. Our Tax Notes products are the first source of essential daily news, deep analysis, and commentary for tax professionals around the world.
Thank you, Michael, and welcome. And now, Renee, maybe you could tell us a little bit about CCC and your role there.
Yeah, hi, Carl and Michael. Great to be joining and talking about this solution. CCC is best known for being global rights licensing experts, but we're also content and knowledge experts, and we work with technology partners like MarkLogic. My role in the organization is as a senior director and consultant in CCC's professional services group. And as a systems integrator, we build solutions for organizations to create content more efficiently and to help our clients innovate their content.
That's fantastic, thank you, and welcome, Renee. So, Michael, back in the early 2000s, you were facing some business problems. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So, in the CMS that we had in 2013 when we started this effort had been built in the early 2000s, and it was custom built on what was at that point obsolete and unsupported technologies. It was no longer meeting our business needs. Our corpus of content consisted of about 4.5 million loosely structured documents, but there was no ability to discover relationships between those documents. They had just been gathered and stored over time. That our subscribers and content users had difficulty searching and navigating to find related content and really answers to specific tax-related questions that they might have. We also include in our content deep links between elements within documents to other documents. The challenge with that at this point was that the content and those links were manually created and validated. Even after manual checking and validations, there were a large number of broken links across that content delivery platform. And this system at that point was approximately 13 years old and had grown over that time. The content was not well structured and had many inconsistencies that made it very, very difficult to continue to enhance that content and the front ends that consumed that content.
So, faced with those particular business problems, tax analysts started looking for a partner to help them solve it. And I think initially you were looking for an alfresco partner, and that led you to CCC. So, Renee, how did that start to develop, that relationship?
Well, we first engaged tax analysts with a process that we call discovery. And we had some on-site workshops with tax analyst editorial, production, and IT teams to really understand their current state. And then we designed the solution to meet their future needs.
So as a result of that discovery process, and the development of that solution, we realized that alfresco by itself would not support our needs for an organization. We realized that we needed something to act as that authoritative content store. And working with CCC through that process, we evolved into an overall solution that incorporated alfresco, MarkLogic, and our web technologies.
So coming out of discovery, you kind of moved from an initial view of just alfresco. You thought about MarkLogic being part of that. How did all of those technologies fit together to solve the problem, Michael?
Well, so we had talked about and continue to use alfresco as our work in progress store and our workflow engine for our content creators and editors. We then used MarkLogic to help with some of the transformations of that and development of linkages within that content during the work in process phases. On publish, that content was moved into another MarkLogic store, which was our final published content store or authoritative content store. So MarkLogic then became the source for that transformation processes, managing our triples, as well as that content store. We then used a web content CMS platform, Drupal, for delivery of that content to our customers that used our front end to access the data, as well as a Elasticsearch-based rendition that allowed us to do some very complex searches of that content through the Drupal platform.
So you pulled together quite a robust and full solution. And what were some of the capabilities that solution delivered, and how did it help tax analysts solve the problems, Renee?
And this really was an end-to-end platform that covered everything from content acquisition, content creation, content management, and delivery of that content to multiple channels. And as Michael said, it replaced their old unsupported technologies and leveraged and integrated more modern tools like MarkLogic. And these were extensible so that they can continue to evolve into the future for them. The content architecture was really foundational to everything in the platform. And certainly the tax analysts could semantically enrich their content with not just metadata, but also relationships between their documents and granular chunks of content. And those were managed as triples. And those triples were leveraged on their digital platform to allow for navigation features like related to features, or also helped their subscribers find answers deep within the content. Michael described earlier that links were a big problem for them. Millions and millions of links had to be manually managed. Well, now in the solution, links were managed, and it's pretty hard to break a link in the new solution. The solution also handled fast tracking content to their different publication channels through automated transformations, automated enrichment, automated production flows. So content would be created just once and could be distributed to all of the different channels that they support.
That's fantastic. So, a good set of capabilities starting to solve those problems and so on. Michael, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about those specific pieces of the solution and what value each was delivering for tax analysts.
Yeah, starting back at the beginning, for our content creators, the Alfresco platform really provides an excellent workflow engine, as well as the ability for our users to edit and manage that content itself. But that's really the internal side of it. The MarkLogic platform provided a number of services for us that were integrated both into the Alfresco backend as well as the content delivery side. Some of the key pieces of that are the linking service within Alfresco, or within MarkLogic. Every time a user saved content in Alfresco, it was passed to MarkLogic to analyze that content and create unique IDs for every structural and semantic object within that content. MarkLogic did discovery and markup of new elements there, as well as validating those links to other documents, so that when a document was published, we knew that the links wouldn't be broken on delivery to the web or other platforms. In addition to that, MarkLogic provided a transformation service. So we used the capabilities of the platform to transform XML to XHTML for website consumption and for caching to speed the process for content delivery. We also did renditions of the content and metadata for our search engine, as well as to transform individual XML documents into batched documents using the News MLG2 format for delivery of content in feeds to third-party content consumers. It also allowed us then to transform those internal links that we had created in that linking service to consume in multiple external channels so that we, again, ensured that links provided to customers would be consistent within the delivery platform. And the last piece really was the existing Drupal front-end platform, which we adapted to consume all of this content in a very seamless fashion.
You know, reuse was also another big capability delivered. Certainly XML helped with that, being format agnostic, but also the system allowed for reuse of things like articles in multiple publications, and that allowed tax analysts to quickly derive new products for different markets. We also created an ontology that represented tax analysts' knowledge domain, and that is managed in MarkLogic's Triple Store. Each XML document is a graph, and between documents or individual structures within those documents are managed as graphs. Down to inline content that are persons, places, or citations inline in the document, those things would be identified in the XML and marked up and managed as triples within MarkLogic's Triple Store.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you both for that description. It sounds like, you know, a real connection between, you know, here we have a problem, let's define a solution that solves those problems and delivers some kind of success, and a really good set of technologies. And it sounds like the collaboration worked well to deliver a really good solution, which, Michael, has been up and working for a little while now. And how has it been serving you, and where do you feel you're going to go next with it?
Yeah, the system has been in production for over 5 years. We are continuously evolving the platform, and as our business needs evolve, what we've got is a really solid foundation with the MarkLogic workflow and the Alfresco content store and transformation capabilities. The next piece for us really is to continue to build on that foundation with new web-based applications and web functionality for our consumers that allow them to continue to evolve their consumption of our content in the way in which they work. So our real focus is on continuing to enhance the user or subscriber functionality in the use of our content. We look forward to many more years of using this platform to provide those services for our customers.
Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Renee. It's great to hear about this collaboration and what it delivered, and I do hope it continues to deliver value for many years to come. Thanks everyone again for watching, and if you would like to know more about the collaboration between CCC and Tax Analysts, please go to the link on the screen and you can find a case study to download and read at your leisure. Thank you very much again.